What's up YouTube, Sledgehammer70 back, and today I wanted to create a quick video highlighting how to change through the different gauges on the dashboard of the 2016 Camaro SS. Okay, so I have the car running because that's the only way I got everything to light up and let me go through everything without freaking out. Here's the gauge cluster. Now, there's multiple different ways you can set it up. Obviously, the left and your RPM gauge and your MPH gauge can't be changed. Those are analog. But right here in the center is your digital, and that can basically be fully customized. And you do that with these buttons right here on your steering wheel. So this allows you to control all the different settings on the gauge cluster. If you push on the left arrow, it gives you the options for all sorts of different things. So you got info, you got performance, you got audio, you got phone, you got nav, and then the settings. So if I go to performance, this is going to bring up the performance options within the nav cluster. So that being said, you can see, here, I'll start from here. So this is the G-force that is reading. This is another way to see the G-force reading with the compass, so you know which way the G's are coming from. If you can't figure that out, then you got problems. This is the acceleration, so if you're at a dead stop, you can set this accelerate to 0 to 60, and it will time from the moment you mash your gas pedal to the time that you hit 60 miles an hour. There you go. It's actually really cool, and it's pretty accurate from my testing so far. Next, you have a lap timer, so you can set this for your laps if you're at the track. Pretty self-explanatory. And then you have all the different types of gauges. So you have oil temperature or oil pressure, trans fluid temp, and then back to the G-force. So that is that option underneath this specific layout. So before I go any further, I want to go into the settings. So under the settings, you have a couple different options. So you can set to US or metric. This is where the display items come up. So right now I'm in the technology setup, and a lot of people like the setup because it's really clean, but I think a lot of people also, they like the look of the standard setup. So, and I'll select that now. So this view actually has the 4 oil pressure and temp and trans fluid, or actually battery and fuel up top, versus the technology. That, and sorry, it does take a second to display the changes, but technology shows you your oil or your vehicle temp and your gas gauge off to the left and right. And then there's the media side, and I'll be honest, I actually have not looked at the media side until now. So the media side looks pretty generic, where you have your park or your temp and your gas gauge left and right. And let's see what that does for the overall performance view. So yeah, so you could see here it's still the same options across the board. So this kind of square area down below remains the same, but you can set the different options there. Or if you just go to the normal car information, which is a typical mode I'm usually in unless I go to the track or I'm doing like time runs and stuff like that. But you can see all the different settings there across the board. And then here we'll go back to, so under audio, you can, this basically will shift the same information that's on your center console. I don't know why people need all of that. Also, you can go through, so if you click on your right button, it goes through your radio media where you basically choose what you want. So if you have an auxiliary or anything like that, like my phone, as you see connected, you can browse. So if you have stuff on your phone, which I don't, unfortunately, you can browse that music quickly. And then same with favorites, which will pull things up based upon what your favorites are set up. That's your audio. So phone is pretty generic and straightforward. Tells you if your phone's connected. You can pull up your contacts, recent calls. There's no up and down option there. Nav, now I don't have navigation on this car because I didn't want to pay the extra money, and I never have liked any nav system ever on any vehicle. So I use Waze on my phone, but we'll see once Android Auto rolls out on the SS if I like that. So we'll see. So going back to settings, my personal favorite option here is the technology setup. So I know a lot of guys like the 4 clusters up top, but honestly I think technology is the more classier looking one. But under the info, there's a couple things here that are unique under info. So under your info tab, this is the only place. So if you have an AA auto, and which comes with active fuel management, this is the only screen that will tell you if you're in V8 or V4 mode. There's no little icon like some of the other GM vehicles out there that will pop up a V4. Like I know I was just driving a brand new 2016 Tahoe, which actually has it right on the front dashboard. It pops up pretty simply. But across the board, you can see you got oil, remaining life, you have your tire pressure sensors, you have your best MPG for your last 50 miles driven, which my car has only been city streets last 50 miles. And used fuel, you can actually set a timer on that as well. Engine hours, idle hours, and then your miles per hour, and then your different trip settings. So it's pretty straightforward, pretty simple. I don't have that many miles on my car. I somewhat bypassed the break-in procedure at 1,000 miles. I said, screw it. I'm going all out, and the car's been running great, so I love it. But see here, so on the other side, is there anything else that I'm missing? I think it's pretty straightforward and set up. So you have your technology, you have your standard, and your audio. That's what really changes the clusters up top. But yeah, there's your gauges, there's your cluster. Hopefully I talked about something that was useful or interesting here. I don't think there was any other options under settings that I'm aware. Oh, there was, sorry. So settings, there is an option under here that will disable. So when you get your car from the factory, page 7 of 7 and 8 of 9 are not there. You actually have to go in your settings and enable them. So you go off here and you can actually set to, you can see all the different items in here, and you can actually turn them on and off. So depending on what you want, same with vehicle information. So you can adjust these and how you want to see. But when it comes straight from the factory, these pages actually don't show up. You need to enable them, and then they'll pop up and you can set them. And the rest is just generic BS. So there you have it. Okay guys, so those were the gauge clusters of the 2016 Camaro SS. Hopefully you guys were able to see everything. I kind of went a little quick through all of that, but in general, I run my car in the technology view. I like the way it looks. I think it looks a lot cleaner than any of the other modes. I know some of the track guys like the 4 individual, the oil temp and all that stuff up there. That's all great, but I just don't like the way it looks. So, but that's the gauge clusters. As always, leave comments below if you guys have any questions or need me to clarify anything. And as always, thank you for watching these videos, and thank you for all of you who've been subscribing. You guys have been awesome, posting great questions across the board. So until next time, thanks for watching.